Yeah, fighters, what's going on, everybody? It's Coach Mike here from the Life of a Fighter podcast, and I'm really excited because I have a special guest joining us for this episode. But before we dive into the episode, this episode, just like every episode, is brought to you by the Life of a Fighter shop. You can go to lifeofafighter.com/shop and check out all the awesome programs, products, and things that we have. Also, this episode is powered by our Kickoff app. Our partners over at Kickoff. You can check out the details below in the links. And I'm really excited because one of my clients at Kickoff took the time to join us to talk about her experience. And I thought it would not only just help inspire a lot of you that are listening, but also to just kind of help motivate you a little bit and to just kind of share. And I just like talking about fitness with her. So I thought it would be fun to have Judy on. So without further ado, Judy, thanks for taking the time and jumping on with me. I appreciate it.
Hi. Hello, everyone.
How you feeling today? So fun fact, me and Judy crushed a workout before, a plyometric workout that I have a separate episode I'm going to do on that specifically. So if you guys want to check that link below. So how you feeling after the workout too?
I feel good.
You crushed it, man. And that's something that, this is a little bit more structured as far as like, I actually have questions for you today that we're going to go through that we talked about before. And a lot of our listeners know that I don't really have like written down structure. We kind of just have conversations. But before we go into that fun stuff, I just wanted to kind of give you props for this week. I think was a great example of whether it's like you're talking about with coaching or just good communication. I appreciate with clients or just people in general. It's like, I think it was like maybe Wednesday we were starting to feel a little bit of that energy drain. And sometimes we have to make those adjustments in the middle of the week of like, yeah, I'm struggling to get through this workout. And you're also a fitness instructor yourself. Like you're doing classes. Like that's something that from doing these Zoom workouts, because when I would coach at the gym, I wouldn't actually take the class. I would just instruct everybody. I would hold pads and wouldn't be as physically demanding. I've realized, especially for someone like you, like someone that's doing the fitness in the class or cycling instructors or anything like that, or even your cardio kickboxing, you are getting a crazy workout and doing that multiple times a day or multiple times throughout the week. It's intense. So props to you, Judy, for being able to get that going.
Thank you. Yeah, you're right. I hit a block this week on Wednesday. My energy was down. it was rough, and it was just pushing through it for the rest of the week. And you got to listen to your body. That's for sure. When your body's telling you need a day of rest. And I communicated that with you yesterday. I took a rest day yesterday. So, and I feel better.
Care, right?
So, yes. Self-care.
That's a good one that I appreciate that you're open to as well. And due to the dynamics of being able to communicate and having that openness. So yeah, I'm excited to jump in to hear some of your story here and to share that with the audience. So I'm going to kind of jump right into it. So the first thing that we kind of had lined up was we're going to look at before you were working with me and with Kickoff and kind of what it was looking like. So what were things kind of looking like for you before you started training with Kickoff? Because you were already active, you already have this experience, but paint a little bit of a picture for me with the months prior to coming on to the app and working with me.
Right. So like the months prior, was really before the holidays of 19. I think everybody like struggles, you kind of gain like your holiday weight, but when the new year came, I usually like my husband does a lot of the cooking at the house, but he had left to go to military training. So I needed to be more accountable. So I was just struggling with accountability and really getting back on track. And so I needed somebody that could just help me. I needed help in that. I can work out 5 days a week, probably. I mean, I love it. I'm addicted to it. I've been addicted to it for like 10 years, probably. I mean, I love the feeling. I love my heart rate up. I love what I feel like when I'm done working out. But there are also weeks that you don't want to do it. And then all of a sudden you're getting kind of lazy. And I needed, and the creativity with workouts too. It's like sometimes I'm creating my own workout so much, I almost get tired of it. I wanted somebody else to create a workout for me and me not have to worry about it. So that was another thing that I was struggling with, was just creating workouts for myself, losing weight from the new year and Christmas and, the holiday season, and just what I was going to eat by myself while my husband was gone. So that's kind of where I was at right before I started. And I literally Googled fitness instructors online.
I am. And that's where, to your point, I think that's actually a really strong point of being either a fitness specialist or instructor or coach, even myself, I still have my own coaching team that I default to, because like we can write our programs, but I think like you said, it's nice to have that peace of mind of one less thing to worry about, keeps it fresh, and not just for the fitness coaches and professionals out there that are listening in our audience, but even someone that's just, it can be overwhelming, I find, to be able to have to like go through the internet. And if you Google like, hey, what workout should I do today? You'll get a million different answers and all these different thoughts and different perspectives. So I think maybe there's also, I appreciate that peace of mind for myself. Obviously I can't speak for anyone else, but I hear you on that. And I think that's a big component to it. And honestly, like I had some great questions tagged in that you already answered for me. You're making this easy, Judy, with that kind of before painting the picture. We already kind of looked at, where you were at and some of the potential pain points or problems that you're experiencing with the food prep and the accountability side of things. Now let's kind of bring it into the during training. Once you find Kickoff, and I thought you actually mentioned a cool point before of one of the things I like about Kickoff, now we're constantly working on too, is when you come into the program, you come into the app, where you click on the link below and it'll bring you over to the app for the survey. It'll ask you, what kind of coaching style do you want? And then also like male or female, like all these fun questions to kind of get the right fit. And we have that, hey, do you want militaristic style? Do you want someone that's going to be your buddy? Do you want somewhere high routine? Because like, again, people respond differently and that's cool. And I know, we were talking about it, like what style you pick. So I figured maybe you could share that with everyone and how.
Yeah, I definitely, okay. So little like, backtrack. I was in the Army, so I'm in my 30s, but I used to be in the military on active duty in the Army, and so I when I got out, I still miss that type of workout. I need that. I like that structure in my life. So when I went on the app, I definitely picked. I wanted the coach that was kind of more aggressive, more straightforward about what they expect to be done, and no soft, he's, of course, Coach Mike is very nice. But, I don't want to say he's not mean by any means, but I mean, I like the directness that comes from it. That's the type of trainer I want. I don't want somebody that's constantly going to tell me, I guess, to skip the workout. You need to do the workout. You need to, if you want results, I mean, you're going to have to put in, the work. So that's what I was wanting. And that's exactly what I got. And it was funny because then a couple weeks later, I had my sister signing up with him too. And my sister is also trains with him as well. And she wanted the same type of person. So her and I, she narrowed it down so she could also get Mike too. So it's great.
And I appreciate that. And that's something that, like, to me, I was talking about even earlier this week, this idea of, there's a Japanese term called ikigai. I forgot if I don't think I sent this to you, Judy. I meant to. But the idea is basically like this Japanese principle of like, what's your reason for being? And mine's coaching and helping people. And like, I appreciate, referrals, not just because like from a business side, cool, that's all great. But to me, the biggest form of flattery is like when you tell somebody else about like, hey, you should try working with Coach Mike, or you should try this program, you should try this app, because that's truly, like, I appreciate that. So I just wanted to say thanks. And I appreciate that kind of factor to it. And it's cool to see, like, again, you'll see different styles of people. And one thing that's fun about the clients that I get to interact with is not everybody does want that militaristic style. So it's cool to be able to exercise my skills for bringing the right kind of, I'll call it energy, for lack of a better term, or approach to that person, and specifically for you. And then I might have, like, I'm thinking of another client I have that's in New York. I still check in with her. She's 84 and she's awesome. And she doesn't need as much of a militaristic. She just needs just check in on me. We're good. And that's cool. So it's cool to see those different angles and to know that, but also to just empower you as the client, as the user, to be able to kind of pick your own direction and pick your own coach. Because, hey, even if you guys are listening, you're like, hey, I think Kickoff is a great app, and you may not want to work with me, like, cool, check out the app. We have a bunch of great coaches. You can check that out as well. And it empowers you. But I like to think I'm all right at what I do. Yeah,
it's great. I mean, and the thing is, like, even when you're on the app, your workouts, you can do a yoga workout. And that's not necessarily some, like, it's just, it can vary what you need. It's all about that communication with your coach, with kind of what you're needing that week, and, your body, and you'll figure that out as time goes on with your coach. So.
And that kind of leads me into, you got good transitionary skills here, Judy. That leads me into like kind of where I was going with during training. Once you're working with Kickoff now, we're working together. What was that like for you? And you're kind of starting to answer that, but I figure I'll piggyback with that question. Like, not only what was it like, but what problems did you feel like we were solving by doing this together?
Well, definitely the nutrition thing. It's about the first couple weeks, I mean, you're going to put in what you get out. I mean, what you put in is what you're going to get out of it. So, I mean, having somebody messaging what I'm eating, that was great. Setting up, the right type of plan for me with what I already do for fitness, at my, here I live in Missouri, but in Kansas City. And, but it kind of was, it's been fun. I mean, it's tough right now because we're all quarantined. I understand that. And our gyms are mostly closed. And, I actually, I don't even know if I told Mike this, but I didn't even have a gym membership prior to this. I mean, the week I signed up with you, I went to the gym and I signed up and I got a membership because I was like, I can't do these workouts at home. And and then I started working out at the gym, and then I started to feel like, I was like, the gym can be intimidating. I think people get nervous. Like, you're like, I don't know if I can try it. You get so complacent with like whatever you're doing all the time. And it's good to switch, totally great for you to switch things up. And not only that, I tried so many different things at the gym. I've done rowing with him. I've done, upper body, lower body. I'm on the treadmill. I'm on the elliptical. I'm working on machines. I'm on the bench. I mean, I've literally done things by myself. I never thought I was I've never done any of this. I mean, some of it maybe in the Army. I mean, a little bit. Obviously, I've run on an elliptical and a treadmill before. But so when we started, it was just about like, finding your kind of, what you like, and, and the first couple months kind of flew by. And so that was great. And then, COVID-19 started. And of course, we've had to adjust to at-home workouts, and which are a little different than, doing sprints on the treadmill and things like that. But still, it's working definitely. And even just in the last couple weeks, I'm really trying to push it. I've lost like 6 pounds. I feel better, and I'm eating better, and the nutritional part of it's definitely there. And for me, it's just when you eat better and you exercise, you feel better mentally, and life just feels a little bit easier. So that was a lot. Sorry.
No, I think those are all great points. And like, I appreciate the perspective. And that's what I think is fun. Well, I was really excited to have you come on and talk about this, because you're not just speaking from the eyes of a client, which you are obviously in that perspective, which I thought everyone would find valuable, but you have a unique perspective of having it from a fitness professional eye as well, and finding how that comes together and being able to recognize some of those kind of points, and having that perspective also of, hey, you're going to get out what you put in, and you do have to make sacrifices. And there are things, and it's ups and downs. Like even we were talking about before, where even myself, like I'm going into quarantine. I'm actually coming out 10 pounds lighter, which was kind of on purpose, not exactly that number, but wanted to reinvest in some things and some habits that I let kind of slide because of having another daughter and all those things. So even from a fitness perspective, you can see those things, and recognizing you have to be okay with, sometimes there's going to be ups, like what you said, holidays, with certain variables. Even with COVID-19, we had to make adjustments, but being able to have someone that can help do that and refer out to that, I think, is also a great point that you mentioned. And also kind of talking about having that on a week-to-week basis. Our days can change, our weeks can change. And like you said, maybe we're a little bit sore on Wednesday than we might have anticipated, or, we're actually, maybe we're feeling really good this week and we want to crank it up. Like I forgot if it was 2 weeks ago, like saying, hey, like let's put in some more elliptical. Like I have that.
Yeah. 2 weeks ago. Yeah. I wanted some more cardio. Yeah.
We can do that. And that's where I appreciate the communication side as well. And to kind of piggyback on that, because again, doing a killer job answering all my questions. I don't even have to ask them. Like you hit 3 of my questions back to back to back. I love it. Kind of piggybacking with, where it benefited you in the app. We kind of talked about that, but now kind of moving forward to transitioning, what's it looking like now and what you're kind of looking forward to compared to where you started. So basically I want to do a comparison of where you were when we first came in and kind of where you are now and where you want to go and how that's kind of changed.
Yeah. I think for me, I'm like really happy that when I first started, I was nervous to, I think, try new workouts. I don't know, like you get set to me on like one type of workout. I mean, I do like aerobic dance fitness. And I think that there's one of the things I'm definitely where I'm at right now. I want to keep going. I just want to keep trying new stuff to work out with. Whether it be like strike kickboxing type classes, I love that. Whether it be some type of CrossFit, whatever it is. I mean, I just like trying new workouts and seeing what my body likes and seeing how far you can push yourselves and, what you can get out of it. So that's one thing I'm definitely continuing to look forward to. I mean, even during the quarantine, I mean, the workouts are still fun, and I've done stuff I hadn't done before when I was in the gym. And so that's great. And once the quarantine started, the first couple weeks, I'm sure everybody was like, holy moly, like what's going to happen? We were all kind of nervous, but I'm looking forward to it to be lifted and eventually the gym's opening back up. That's for sure. But moving forward, definitely my goals are continuing to cut some more pounds for the summer. I mean, that's obviously one of my goals. You want to be summer ready. And I'm also, just wanting to continue to work on my mental health. And I think that working out for me is just as much mental that it is physical health. And just striving to, because on the days that you don't work out, I know that, to me, you feel sluggish, you don't feel as great. You might, it's just agitation, but the days that you get those workouts in. So that's something else I'm looking forward to, is just continuing. I mean, and it's been a couple of months. I mean, I've been with Coach Mike for, since like January, I think is when we started. So every week is just a little bit better because I know that I'm being held accountable, and I can look forward to that as I continue to move forward, especially because my husband and I are actually looking to move. We're going to go on orders for the military, for the Air Force. And I guess what? He gets to come with me because we do this online and I don't have to worry about stopping. We're just going to continue to keep moving. So.
Yeah, Judy. And dude, I appreciate the kind words as always. And I think it's a testament to the point of, I think an important part is showing up and having that willingness to show up. And that's where like, I can only do so much. And that's why I always like to be mindful of. It still comes on you as the client, as the person, to show up and do the work. And that's something you've always done a great job of. So that's why I appreciate also you sharing that perspective too. Inspired to help people understand that. And then I think the last kind of question that we had that you kind of already answered before by saying, you recommended your sister to work with me, but the one of, what do you kind of think as far as from a coaching service? Is it something you would recommend? And if so, why? Maybe that's, I guess, a better way to push it. Like, obviously you recommending it. I appreciate you recommending it to your sister. But like, what about it specifically made you want to recommend it? Not just for her, but why would you recommend it to people that are listening now even?
Yeah, I mean, I just like anybody else. I think there's so many people are just nervous to step out on the ledge. But I definitely think if you're wanting to get started, I mean, it's a great app. I mean, I definitely would. The app is great. Coach Mike is great. I mean, whatever you need, I mean, it's going to be fitted to you. If they're not going to have you go out if you've never done fitness before and run a 5K, I mean, this is built around what you're capable of doing and setting your goals with what you want to get done and working through your issues, I mean, whatever you're wanting to get done. I mean, that right there is probably the main reason why I'd recommend this, is just if you're wanting to get started and you don't even know how to, I mean, this app is just great. And not only that, you could probably have years go by and you're still talking to Mike because, one, he's creating your workouts, and two, he's I mean, you still need accountability. I don't care. I mean, I've been in the fitness world for 7 years now. And I mean, I've been doing fitness a long time because of the military, but I'm talking like legitimate fitness. But there's something about having somebody else helping you, just holding you accountable, having a team surrounding you to continue your success. And that's what this is about. So
I appreciate that. And I think that's a great point. And that's something that I'm fortunate to have the support and also have like guidance from other coaches too. Like I try and not be at a place where I think I know everything, and being able to listen to you and communicate and get your insight and be able to constantly make that change. And honestly, I do. I have clients that I've been working with for 10 years that even though I've moved, and that's something we talked about, and to your point from moving, it's kind of cool to see the shift in the fitness world of, I was exclusively training people in person when I first started. There wasn't apps. There wasn't the same opportunity. There was still the internet, but it wasn't the same coaching style. And over the last couple of years, making that transition, and I've been able to work with clients over years and years because of that. And what I do tell people, and like I know we mentioned, is like I do look forward to getting you to a point where you feel confident in your fitness, where you're like, you know what, I think I can do this on my own. But I do, and I have a lot of clients, to your point of, they want to stay because of the accountability. They want to stay because of the peace of mind of having a program done. But that's never something that I want to push to say you have to stay. I want to empower you so that you feel like you can do it on your own. But we always love to have everybody to help, if that kind of makes sense too, with that balance.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, Judy. So that's kind of like the core of what I wanted to get at. We're kind of getting towards the end, but I always like to kind of bring it back to you to give you the platform. I want to just shout you out, and I really appreciate you taking the time, and honestly give a quick shout out to Honesty, to your sister, for kicking butt and taking names. And I wanted to just kind of leave the platform to you for anything that, last words or anything you have going on you wanted to share, or just inspiring.
Now let me shout out my sister too. I mean, she's been with Coach Mike too. I mean, she started a couple weeks after me, maybe like the beginning of February, but she's probably down like 13 to 15 pounds since she started. And I mean, she's got the right coach for what she needs. And and that's a good thing. He doesn't, in the days that like you think like, man, I don't really want to do it, Mike's going to be there. All right. He's going to be like, what are you doing today? What are our goals? Like, let's lay something out. You're going to get it in, people. You're going to get that workout in. He's going to be there. So I just wanted to give my sister a shout out because, she's still working the program as well. And she's seen a lot of success. And so, yeah, just don't think about it. Just do it. Don't be nervous. It's good for you.
I appreciate it, Judy. And again, I appreciate you taking the time. And I know, and I know you're going to enjoy a picnic now today too. So again, I appreciate you taking that time beforehand to do this.
No, thank you.
Hold on, I'm just